It's approaching the supreme moment. Reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead.
What's good? Let's test out Battle Road with the Movie Boss category team. So this is my team pretty much. No dupes for Turles, grade A Turles. I did invest some orbs. He's at 90% now. 14 for AA and 12 for criticals. This guy's the standard 100% Golden Frieza that you've all seen. Bojack, I did finally invest some orbs into this guy, so he's at 79%. So pretty good unit. 90% increase to attack definitely does help. This guy has no work done. He's just for attack and defense, 30% up for agility types. I did invest the orbs for this guy and put him at 100% just because, you know, he has a high chance to evade attack. So also does reduce attack. So I just gave him level 11 for additional attack and level 15 for evasion. My friend Turles had some work done on the potential system, but not, you know, anywhere close to fully maxed out. So I did speed the video up just to not stretch it out, you know, too long. But yeah, just gonna talk about it while the video is playing and running through it, and just talk about why, you know, I went with this method. Pretty much because I don't have the Super Android 17, which is the extreme agility type lead. So this actually works out pretty well too. Not only does the Movie Boss category provide a better boost, you know, 150% versus 120. I had a lot of units that fall into that category, and you know, some of them have a lot of work done on the potential system. So I figured, you know, this would be much more efficient. And I actually wanted to test out the Android 17 unit at 100% and see how frequently he would actually dodge with, you know, he's got the passive high chance of evasion, but, you know, by giving him more levels toward dodge, you know, it's interesting to see how often he would dodge. So this is probably more or less useful in that regard too. I will go ahead and say this, looking back at it in hindsight, when he dodges like crazy, like Ultra Instinct style kind of thing. But when he doesn't, he will royally screw your ass over, basically, is the best way to put it. So, you know, it's high chance is probably like 50%. And then I gave him, I think, 15 extra levels in the potential system. So that probably equates to about 65% chance to dodge. Now, for some reason in Battle Road, it seems like those potential system skills kick in a little bit less frequently than other times, but I don't know, it could all just be RNG, but it just feels like that sometimes. I'm not, you know, I'm definitely not gonna say this was a perfect run. I certainly made mistakes here and there, but overall it was somewhat of a clean run. And the Android 17, he doesn't fall into the Movie Boss category, but you know, the agility types still do get the benefit of the leader skill a little bit. So I can't remember the exact percentage, but let me actually look it up. But overall, this wasn't too bad. So the Turles unit for extreme class will provide +3 key HP attack and defense by 50%. So obviously with Battle Road, it's strictly, you know, restricted to extreme agility types for this one. So yeah, overall it worked out fine. He's not getting, you know, he's missing out on 100% extra and boost. That's why when he gets hit, it hurts pretty bad, but it seems like he dodges frequently enough to where it does provide a benefit. And what else is there to say about Golden Frieza? I mean, he's one of the best tanks in the game, if not the best. I think Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, the strength version's probably him, and between him and Golden Frieza, those are probably the best tanks. So Turles does also provide the benefit of transforming, but we'll talk about that here in a second. But I really love the Turles unit because he's got a great passive skill too. I mean, +3 key and attack increase of 40% for all allies, and then, you know, super class enemies attack -15%. So, you know, it's pretty tight there. And he's also got the ability to transform. So when he does transform, you know, he changes, let's see, he actually got to pull this up. All right, so when he does change or transform with the power up, he's able to recover 15% HP at the start of the turn, so that certainly helps. Attack and defense will increase by 130%. And the best part is super class enemies defense will drop by 80%. So Super Battle Road, you're specifically, you know, battling against super types. So very advantageous to have that ability. And he links really well with, not only himself without transformation, and then also the Great Ape Turles. So, overall, this team definitely works pretty well in this scenario. So, definitely fun to run, and movie boss category is definitely one of my favorites so far within the game. I think besides that, it's Super Saiyan 3 and Resurrected Warriors, but this one is definitely in the top 3. And the Great Ape Turles, you'll see him come back around in a second, but I'm probably going to use the last remaining exchangeable item to get the last remaining dupe for him. That way I'll get him to rainbow status, so looking forward to that one. Great Ape Turles does have the ability to stun the enemy as well, so that's also a nice function. I think after his Dokkan Awaken, he's got a medium chance to stun the enemy, so definitely beneficial to have him on here. And the other great part about this guy is it'll add +3 ki and attack at 90% when ki is 9 or more. So essentially, when the passive's kicked in, you only need a ki meter of 9 to get the super attack, pretty much. So that'll save you, a couple of agility orbs to save for other units in the team. So it's definitely very helpful to have that. And he's also got the chance to turn into the giant ape, which is going to help eliminate some of the damage taken from the enemies. So certainly a good team to run. And the Final Form Cooler unit, which is from the Baba Shop, or no, it's not from the Baba Shop, it's from like the World Tournament Summons, I think, because it was actually a reward given out a while back. But he is very nice to have as a support unit. The attack and defense increase to 30% definitely helps, and he links up pretty well with my Golden Frieza. He is at SA level 1, and no work on the potential system, so I think if I did put in some work on him, like, he would actually be a decent hitter too within this category. And I was stalling for a little while on the Bojack unit of whether to invest orbs or not, but I needed one last remaining piece for this movie boss team within strictly agilities, so I just went ahead and did some work on him. I already had like 2 dupes for him, so I unlocked the top left and bottom right paths, so obviously that's why you see the skill tree the way it is. And this is where I made the mistake of, well, not mistake, but RNG was kind of a pain where, good tanks didn't get KO'd, like, with very little HP left, so I had to waste Dokkan mode on him. It would have been better had it, had Turles got a critical KO'd Gotenks, and then this right off the bat was able to get the Dokkan mode. But things don't always go the way they planned. But fortunately, I have Golden Frieza to tank most of the attacks. So definitely, Golden Frieza is one of the MVPs. The Giant Ape Turles is definitely one of the heaviest hitters now within this setup. I think, he can hit upwards of 1.5 million with this setup, so definitely nice. And we'll see Android 17 how often he'll dodge. I've got 156,000 in HP left, but I'm gonna go ahead and use the Bulma item because I did a run earlier before this, and he ended up not dodging at all. Like, he basically took all the attacks and I got KO'd. So yeah, it's really RNG based, but it does help. And here we go with the giant ape. So unfortunately for these guys, when they are transformed into their giant version, the potential levels don't kick in for additional attack or criticals. I think later down the road they should definitely implement that, at least for the criticals. I think that's more than reasonable in my opinion. They're pretty much going in berserk mode, so the chances of getting a critical when they're on berserker mode is more probable, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, hopefully they make adjustments to it later down. But yeah, it definitely does save you HP because you're essentially not taking any damage. And then once you get the super attack, I mean, he's able to hit there for about 400,000, which is any amount is helpful at this point. So should be able to at least finish off the Trunks unit before the transformation ends. So that's going to help. It's going to limit the attacks, incoming attacks from the enemies. So pretty much going to tank here. I'm just going to go ahead and put the Turles unit at the end because he could defend better than the cooler unit, since, like I said, the cooler unit has no work done on the potential system. He was strictly brought in as a supporting role to provide that attack and defense increase of 30% for agility types. But I mean, with maxed out status, he could hit for like maybe 250, 300,000 max. So I mean, he could potentially be helpful. So I did leave Android 17 in the middle here because I didn't want to lose the linkage between him and Turles. Like, I wanted both Turles units to hit as much as possible. So obvious choice, again, put Golden Frieza where most of the attacks are coming. Fortunately, you're going to have to break off the link, but is it worth it or not, to keep that same setup moving forward, or, put Bojack in the middle to defend a little bit better? So that's those are the types of things you got to think about, because not only are you thinking about the current round, but you're also thinking about the next rotation when they come back. Do you want to maintain the best link setup, or is it not worth the risk? Sometimes it's not worth the risk, so I do change it up. So this should be the last one, I think. So far, it hasn't been too bad. Running relatively smoothly. It should have plenty of items still. And again, I thought about putting the Golden Frieza at the very end. It seems like more attacks are coming, but since there are 3 attacks coming up front, it was probably a good idea too, because I just got supered on there. So it's all RNG based. I mean, where the supers are coming and how lucky you get. And he can hit pretty decent at 100%. Like 400,000 is not bad. This is obviously Super Battle Road, so the output's a little bit different. But yeah, overall he doesn't do too bad. And I really can't wait to get more dupes for the Turles unit. It would be a dream to Rainbow Star this guy. This is one of the units I would actually love to max out. It's so far one of my favorite units in the game. It's not my favorite, but it's one of my favorites. So we'll go ahead and recover HP, increase defense a little bit, since these guys could potentially take a lot of damage. Great Ape Turles or Giant Ape Turles is definitely up front because the most work's been done on him, so he can probably defend the best out of the 3. So we'll go ahead and increase attack or drop attack and defense of the enemy by 30%. Golden Frieza looks like he is going to be taking the normal hits because HP seems to be less than 50%. And then, I just kind of want to go ahead and get a super attack with all 3, just to see if we can eliminate at least Goku. And let's see how frequently this guy can dodge. He does have the ability to reduce the enemy's attack. That's why I gave him additional attacks instead of criticals. Just a heads up. So we'll go ahead and boost up that attack. I mean, we've got plenty of items still, so not overly concerned for the time being. Turles will probably take a decent amount of damage here, but I want to maximize all these guys' attack output. 1.4 million, not too bad. Let's see, 60,000, not too bad with damage either, but back to back, holy shit. So eliminated Vegeta there, so only Piccolo remains. And HP is definitely over 50%, so definitely want Golden Frieza to tank all the attacks. Yeah, Bojack is pretty nice too. Like I said, I had more than enough on a normal movie boss team. That's why I never put in work on him. But for this Super Battle Road setup, I did need him to help out with the, help out with the damage, and he can defend decently too. So it was worthwhile to invest orbs into that guy. All right, should be finishing up here. Yep, so that is pretty much the movie boss team setup within the Super Battle Road scenario. Alright, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, gave you some alternative options besides Super Android 17 to run. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for next time.